I believe that UiPath is currently, this is what the reality tells me, the facts on the ground tell me, I believe that UiPath is extremely undervalued. So let's open up this really quick. Just getting this on the record here. I like to buy broken stocks, not broken companies, because, broken stocks, nothing's actually broken. You're just getting a good deal. The only thing that's broken is the minds of the people selling to you when a stock is broken. Not broken companies. Don't buy broken companies. Like, oftentimes people get tricked. They see a stock that's down a lot. So this right here is UiPath's stock price, right? It IPO'd, in the 60s, 70s, ran all the way up to over $80, and then it crashed all the way down to 11, 12. And now we've been there since 2022 in the same exact range, kind of bottomed out. No one wants to buy it. A lot of people get tricked because there's a lot of stocks that, go down, right? And guess what? There's a lot of stocks that never come back up. They never recover. People buy them. They're like, it's down 99%. How much slower can it go? How much can I lose? And as Peter Lynch would say, how much can I lose? Well, if you put $100,000 into a stock down 99%, you can lose $100,000, 100% of what you put in, because from down 99%, like it can drop another 99%, it could drop another 100%. It can go bankrupt. You can literally lose everything. So buying a broken stock alone, if it's also a broken company, is a really bad idea. You want to find A-tier companies, S-tier companies that are trading at these sorts of broken stock valuations where the market thinks that it's a broken company, but it's not at all. And then that's where this blue comes in, right? This blue is UiPath's revenue since it's been a public company. So we have seen revenue like more than double, while the stock price has gone down 85%. So what this does is over time, the asymmetry grows. The asymmetry of how much the stock can go up versus how much it can go down. Like reasonably, if a stock eventually has to follow fundamentals, the longer that this stock was going down and the more the revenue was going up, this divergence between reality and perception grows. And once it's now chasm for 4 years in a row, right, where we haven't grown for 4 years in a row, and revenue just keeps on growing. And now I think in Q4, we're about to see the first quarter of ARR, which stands for annualized reoccurring revenue. That's like your annual subscription, the value of your annual contracts. We're going to see that start to reaccelerate. So we're going to see the growth start to be faster than the growth last year in Q4. And that is showing AI to be a tailwind, which we will get into. But now we're at a situation where the stock is at record lows. I mean, record lows since it's been public. Record low market cap. They have so much cash that record low enterprise value, record low like price to sales, record low enterprise value to forward sales, record low EV to EBITDA, like whatever calculate. Like the stock is cheap. It's cheap. While they're accelerating revenue, we're about to see ARR reaccelerate. So it's a weird mix where it's definitely a broken stock, but it's not a broken company. And actually, I believe, and we'll get into this more and more, and you guys will have to decide based on the arguments that I make here, for those who actually care and are going to listen through this, that AI is a huge tailwind, and this is one of the best times ever. Like the longer the base, the bigger the breakout is going to eventually be here. So that's a little point of intro here I want to get into here. Past is extremely sold off. So now I also just want to quickly look at like, okay, what is its valuation like, compared to the competitors? Because in the private market right now, it is a completely different world than the public market. In the public market, it's like everyone who does have a business, it's like, oh, that's risky. I don't know if that business is going to be there. But everyone who is like starting a business, even if they're doing the same thing or such a similar thing of a business that already exists, if they're starting a business and they're still private, people are throwing money at you. Like if you have AI in your business model at all and you're private, it's like your valuations are extreme. So just to show the divergence here, in 8N, it has far less functionality than UiPath. It can do way less. Okay, but it is it's better if you're a small individual, okay, and you don't actually care about the governance, you don't care about the auditability, you don't care about the security certifications. I mean, you're someone who would just like run, OpenClaw on your main computer with access to all of your actual email inboxes and stuff. If you're someone like that, it's like, okay, yeah, you probably don't need Path. And you're probably going to choose N8N over Path. If you're a Fortune 500 company, a Fortune 2000 global company, one of the 2,000 biggest companies in the world, you're 100% going to need Path over N8N. Just so you can kind of like understand the high level view without getting into all the like technological specifics, which we will get way more into later on in the stream. N8N is currently valued at $2.5 billion in the private market. That's what their last funding round was at. And the last news I could see was from like late last year. They were at like 45 million, 50 million in AR. So I'm guessing like around now, they're probably at around 60 million of total revenue. So $2.5 billion valuation, 60 million in revenue. UiPath, it's a public company. So everyone hates public software companies right now. Don't buy them. Don't buy them. That's everyone's opinion. Just because it's public, it has to suck, apparently. 5.7 billion is the market. So it's a little over double the valuation, but it has 1.782 billion in revenue. Huge amounts of ARR, almost 2 billion in ARR. Okay, they do the same thing, not quite. N8N does less, but one is private and relies on small companies and individuals. The other is public and automates for 65% of the companies in the S&P 500. So maybe you're like, well, you know, people are paying for growth, right? And since N8N has such little revenue, you know, their growth rate has to be faster than Path's, right? You know, so why not pay what would be 5 billion for a 120 million revenue company, you know, when you can get almost 2 billion in ARR for that price. N8N has to be growing faster, right? No. Okay. Path adds N8N's entire annual revenue and net new ARR, which is new annual recurring revenue, each quarter. Like I'm expecting to see pretty much, you know, around N8N's entire annualized revenue in net new ARR added this quarter for Path. So it's really crazy the valuation discrepancies we're looking at here. Like this thing right here doesn't happen. What I just showed you guys earlier, this doesn't happen where a stock drops 85% while revenue more than doubles without getting some weird valuation discrepancy type things like what I'm showing you with N8N, where Path is barely worth twice as much as them, and you know adds an entire one of them every single quarter. That means you're going to get 4 N8N's worth of revenue throughout this year, and it only costs twice as much. And actually, because UiPath has 1.4 billion in cash and no debt, you're actually paying like not even twice as much. Now, I'm sure actually N8N has a lot of cash as well. We should be fair, since they did just raise a ton of money at this 2.5 billion with only 600 or 60 million in revenue. So just know like there is some bubbles in the AI space. They're not in Path. They're mostly not in the public market. There's some high valuation stocks, but most of the tech companies in the public market are not even anywhere close to bubble territory. I mean, like price to look through earnings, if you expect Path to have like a 35% net margin eventually, which it should easily be able to hit because it's an automation company, right? And they're using the automations that they're selling to others internally. So they're becoming super efficient, and they have these scaling laws where they're growing revenue without expenses. I could just show you here. Actually, if we go to the income operating expenses here, in this little Vibe coded app I've been making, you can see how since 2022, I should make my head a little bit smaller here. I'm going to be blocking this. Since 2022, this has not been growing. This line, it really has not been growing much at all. You can see they're at 1.2 billion in operating expenses in 2022. They're now at 1.3 billion. So they've added 100 million in operating expenses over 4 years. This is full 4 years, right? And revenue keeps growing. Revenue has now surpassed operating expenses, which you obviously want to see. But this is going to stay pretty much flat because they're having so much leverage through through Maestro doing work internally. So that's, yeah, really an exciting thing to see. So Path is extremely sold off. The valuation is really cheap. So the expectations are just so low compared to the private market, like the deals you're getting, the amount of AI upside you're getting for the price is insanely better in the public market right now for a stock like UiPath.